Hey everybody, welcome to another GED video. So today we're going to start with algebra. This is fun for everybody. So number line and signed numbers. So this is the number line right here. Okay, so imagine this being 0. Don't imagine it. It is 0. Anything to the left of it is a negative number. Anything to the right of it is a positive number. Okay. So we'll be using that will help you mentally with algebraic equations. Um, let's see. Let's go through one of these real quick. Adding and subtracting signed numbers. So, for example, let's see. Yeah, so okay, you can use a number line to model the addition of signed numbers. Examples: 1 plus minus 4 equals 3. So we're at 1 plus equals negative 3. So we're at a positive 1 right here. Okay. Then we add negative 4 to it. Okay. So positive 1, we count 4 times towards the negative side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see that we have negative 3 now. Okay. If you're used to only working in positive numbers, this can take a little bit to get, but basically how I think of it, and it may or may not be correct, or let's not say correct, but the best way. I think of it as you're basically um, adding negative numbers, which will give you a minus 3. Okay, so if you have a positive 1 and you take 4 away from that, then now you have a negative 3. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else. Another thing to note is this part: if numbers have like signs, add the numbers and keep the same sign. If the numbers have unlike signs, find the difference between the two numbers and use the sign of the larger number. So this example is for the latter, for the unlike signs. For example, 15 plus negative 25. So if you can imagine that on the positive line, you have, on the line here, you would have a positive 15, then you would count 25. Towards the negative side, you'd count to 25, which would put you at a negative 10. Okay. So you're basically, if you're adding negative numbers, you're basically taking away from the positive numbers. And once you pass 0, going to the left, you have to add the negative sign. Okay. Basically, and if you have two positive numbers, another thing is if there is no sign, we assume it's positive, like in our everyday numbers that we use. Okay, like this, 15. Okay, 15 would be a positive number. Okay. It's only negative if it has the negative sign in front of it. Also, sometimes they will put these numbers in parentheses. Just for example, if you have a 4 plus sorry, it's probably better if I show that as a minus. Let's see. So 4 minus negative 15. Okay. So this is in parentheses so you don't get confused with two of these minus or negative signs together, because minus and negative sign is essentially the same thing. If you didn't have parentheses, it would look like this. Okay. And it could get a little confusing. So this tells you right here, okay, this is 4 minus negative 15. Okay, let me clear this out. So moving on. go to the next page. Okay, so here we have actual problems. Okay. There is a concept here as well, which you can do, what do you call it? You can rewrite negative, okay, let's see what it says here. Rewrite each subtraction as addition. So for example, -5 plus 6 minus 4 minus -2, okay? What they did here is rewrite each subtraction as addition, so really the only subtraction we have here is minus -2, okay? Well, actually -4 as well, but let's see how they went ahead and rewrote it. So they did -5 plus 6 plus -4, okay? So 6 minus 4, essentially you're taking away from 6, so you're adding a negative amount to it. You know, if it was plus, then you'd be adding a positive amount to the 6. Taking away from the 6 is essentially adding a negative amount, which is what they did here. They added the -4. Okay, so that's kind of how they, well, it's not kind of, it is exactly how they changed this from a negative to a positive here. Okay, and then if you minus a negative amount, that means, for example, 4 minus -2, then you're adding a positive amount. Okay, so let's see, I don't know if I'll be able to write this concept out, but 4 minus -2, basically you are taking away any well, you're basically removing a negative amount that doesn't actually exist, but it's in all how it's written, it's basically adding a positive amount. So if you minus a negative amount, then essentially you're adding a positive amount. Okay, so 4 minus -2 is basically what they wrote here. Let's see how they wrote it. So 4 minus -2. Well, it gets a little confusing because there's this equation before it, but 6 plus 2. Okay, it was -4 minus -2. -2. So yeah, they pretty much added. They're adding a -2 to the 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm not going to go through all these because this will take a pretty long time. This here is kind of the easier ones, so I'm gonna mostly just do the more difficult ones. I'll do a couple from each here, a couple from there, then maybe just do all of these. So let's do 50 minus 5. Okay, we know what that is. It's pretty obvious. 50 minus 5 is 45. Now -4 minus a -5. Okay, so you have a -4, and you're taking away -5 from that. So basically that gives you a +1. Okay, let's see if I can write this out here. Yeah. So here's the line. Here's the line that we saw earlier. The 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these are all negative because it's to the left of 0. I would put a negative sign there, but I don't. Oh, okay, maybe I will. Okay, and here we have anything to the right is positive. Okay, just going to write this line out for this example. So, just to help you get the concept. So we started at -4. Okay, now if it said plus -5, we'd add 5 more. Okay, 5 more negatives. But it said minus. We need a minus -5. So if we want to take away from the negative side, we need to go towards a positive side. So we have -4 minus -5. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this would be your answer, 1. Just to make the concept come to life a little more. Okay, so here we have number 11, -15 plus -17. So we have an already negative amount. Okay. Then we're adding another negative amount. So we go even further into the negative, which is the left side, this direction. Okay. So -15, pretty much just add this together, make it a 22, and since we kept going to the left, which is negative, your answer is -22. Okay. Okay, let's move on to here. This is pretty much just the same thing, just a little bit longer. So 7 plus -3, we know is basically 3 take away 7, or 7 take away 3. So 7 plus -3 is 4. So 4 plus -5, we're adding even more negatives to it, makes it -1. Okay, minus 10. Okay, we're adding more negatives now, minus 10. So we have -1, adding a negative. We're all minusing an additional 10, which makes it -11. Okay. Okay, number 18, 66 plus -22. So this is the negative sign right here, guys, right next to the AC. Okay, so 66 plus the negative sign, -22, equals, does not equal -64. Let me see. 66 plus negative. See, the 66 is turning negative there. Let me see if there's a different way. So 66 plus, let's say, 22 negative. Okay, there you go. It's 44. So we have 44 minus 33, okay? 44, as you can see here, 66 plus negative 22 is 44 minus 33, so we'll minus 33. That gives us a positive 11. Okay, so that's the answer to that. So this is pretty basic, guys. Only thing you need to keep in mind is the symbols, okay? And when you're adding, yeah, it may say plus negative 33, so you're adding a negative amount, or plus a positive amount, etc. So just keep your eye out for the numbers. So 19, negative 14 minus negative 6. So remember, minus a negative amount is adding some positive numbers. So you have minus 4, which brings it closer to the right side of the 0 on the number line. So negative 14 minus negative 6. So now we have a negative 8, okay? Because, oh, didn't mean to actually close that. Yeah, so negative 14 minus negative 6, we're taking away 14, we're taking away negative 6, or you could say adding a positive 6 to this, okay? That makes it negative 8, then plus 18. So we have to reach 8 to make it 0, okay, because it's a negative 8 right now. Negative 8, so 8 more will bring it up to 0. Okay, so we'll add the 8 from the 18. Now we're at 0. Then we add the 10, positive 10. You could just add the 18 to the negative 8, but I'm breaking it down a little bit in more even or simple numbers. Okay, so now that tells us we have a positive 10. Okay, so 10 is the answer to that. Okay, let's see. Now number 20. 80 minus negative 15. So remember, when you're minusing a negative number, you're adding. Okay, so 80 minus, take away the, let's say, possibility of negative 15, means we're adding 15. So 80 plus 15 is 95. Then minus 20 is 75. Okay, so the number for that one is 75. Okay, now 22 negative 23 plus a negative 11 is 34. So we added a negative amount to the already negative 23, so it would be negative 34 right now. Okay, minus negative 15. Okay, so negative 34 negative 34 plus 15. Let me do that again. Okay, 34. I guess I'll hit the negative after. 34 negative minus. I want to write this out how they do it. Minus 15 negative equals negative 19. Okay, so then we have to add positive 21 to this. Okay, plus 21. So, since you get the idea, this is 19 places to the negative side of this line, okay? This line where the 0 is here and 1, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Positive 1, 2, 3. So we're 19 spaces over here. So we have to count 19. Okay, we have to count 18, 17, 16, 15, 15, 14, 13, etc. till we get to 0, which is 19 spaces. Then we keep moving over to the complete 21 spaces, okay? So, negative 19 plus, fudge, okay, plus 21 equals, it's going to be 22, okay? So we have a 2 right there. And that is your answer to that. Number 22 is 2. Okay, number 23, 3 plus 9 is 12. Minus 5 is 7. Excuse me. Plus 12, 19. Minus 9. I'm actually kind of forgetting as I'm talking. Okay, let's do this. 3 plus 9 is 12. Minus 5. I'm going to write these down. Minus 5. 7. Then we are plus 12. 7 plus 12 is 19. Okay. So, minus 9. We're at 10 now. Minus 11. Now we're at negative 1 because we had to take away 11. So that is your answer for 23, negative 1. Okay. Now, negative 7. Let me clear this first. Number 24 is negative 7 minus 20. Okay. So remember, we know this is a minus because, as earlier I showed you, if it was a negative, we wouldn't have two of these minus symbols together. If it was a negative, it would be in parentheses like this. Okay, parentheses, negative 20. So it's minus 7 minus 20. Okay, so we know we have, if you take 20 away from already negative 7, you have negative 27. Minus negative 14. Just keeps going deeper and deeper into the minus, Your Highness. So let's do this. 27 minus 14 negative equals minus negative 14. So it equals 13. Okay. So that's your answer for that. Negative 13 for number 24. Okay, so to even further conceptualize the number line here. So the number line above shows which of the following expressions. Okay. So if you're just looking at it like this, then it looks like, oh yeah, I see a positive 2, which is right here, and then I see a negative 3. So then negative 3, yeah, it must be that one, but it's actually not, because you have to do this. You have to start from the 2 and count all the way down here. So 2, Okay, so 1, how many times it goes over to the negative side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's positive 2 plus negative 5. Okay, not negative 3. So your number is, the answer is B here. At noon, the temperature in the high desert was 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists observed the following temperature changes over the course of the next 2 hours. So 92 plus 12 is 104. Okay. Then there was minus 5. So 99. Then an additional 6, 105. Then minus 3, 102. And then additional 13. So plus 13. So 115. Okay, see, that was simple. We just did one number at a time. And the temperature, okay, what was the question? What was the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit at the end of the 2-hour period? So at the end of that period, it was 115. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you appreciated it, give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend that you know is working on GED, and please like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Have a great day.